Well, hello. Hello, hello.
Hi.
Welcome. Not that already messing up already, but it's okay. This is
The
what we
debut
do here.
episode of our wrestling.
This is the cup. And yes, we are here to talk about something we don't usually talk about. But I say this is more reality TV than a lot of TV things on TV. So I think it fits the bill to fit under the cup umbrella to talk about. I'm just saying, it's a lot of reality.
We are less scripted here than Real Housewives, let's be honest.
I'm just saying. So, welcome to the cup. Well, we put the tea in reality, where you can always come here first to quench your reality thirst. I am Lana, your resident diva, here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because I love me some tea. You know this. So if you have the tea, you know what to do. Hit me up. And of course, as always, I'm drinking something because it is the cup. And today I'm just drinking cream soda because, yeah, why not? Caffeine needed. Actually, I don't need it because I'm going to have to go to bed soon, but we'll see how that turns out. We'll work on that. But yeah.
Well, if Lana's our resident diva, I guess that means me our resident NXT UK superstar, but that also means I would have been released by now. Unless I was going to NXT with a new name. So I'm no longer Lewis. I am now some stereotypical British NXT name. What's a stereotypical British NXT rebrand?
Charlie Dempsey.
Sure.
I am Bartholomew
Paddington.
Harrington. Yeah, Bartholomew Harrington. That's my new NXT name. No, I'm kidding. I'm Lewis. I'm Canny Laddie from Manny. I'm drinking Coke. That's all I'm drinking. As in Coca-Cola, not the drug. Anyway.
Yeah.
If you were drinking that Coke, I would be very worried for you, Lewis.
I don't think that's possible. Can you turn it into a liquidy concoction? Anyway, whatever.
Let's not talk about that. Let's go. Brook, please.
And hi, everybody. It's Brook, the college graduate who plays way too much fucking Smash Bros. But on my past couple days, I have been still playing Axiom Verge 2. Although about 20 minutes before this phone call, I was playing Smash Bros. With our newest panelist. I just took the wrong way. This way. And I'm
what's going on? I'll interrupt my friend Brook here and say what's going on. My name's Wes, and I'm drinking seltzer water, which makes me an old man, but that's okay because that's basically all who I am. I am an old man, and I am here for some wrestling.
I love Wes saying that he's an old man because I am always the resident old woman, so it's nice to have an old man on the panel with me. Thank you very much. Period. And we're talking wrestling. Like, come on. Royal Rumble is coming up this Saturday, and I'm a huge WWE fan. I won't say wrestling fan because that involves everything. I'm a WWE fan. That's me. I'm that girl. I don't care about nobody else but the WWE at this point in my life. And so that's who I am. And so I figured, since I'm a fan, and then talked to Lewis, and Lewis was like, well, he's a fan. Then talked to Brook, and Brook was like, well, they're a fan. And Brook said, well, my friend Wes is a fan. So we said we don't really talk about it. So here we are talking about Royal Rumble. And we're going to talk about predictions. We're going to talk about who we think our surprises, entries are going to be, what we think is going to happen on the road to WrestleMania. And yeah, we're just going to jump in and start talking about it. But I think we should talk about the matches first because it's easier just to talk about the matches and get the matches out the way. And then we'll jump into the actual Royal Rumble match. So first, let's start with the Raw Women's Championship match with Bianca Belair versus Alexa Bliss. What are y'all thoughts, predictions? How do we see this match going?
So we're gonna talk about the girl that you sent for real quick. You want to talk about her?
Yeah, well, I could talk for years about Alexa Bliss. Huge fan, and of course, going into this title match, I have a lot of hope, but not a lot of true faith. I really enjoyed her in the Fiend era. I still think she's pretty great. But Bianca Belair, is the next thing and the current thing. So we'll see. I have hope, but I'm
That's
not
very
that.
fair. All of that is totally valid.
I will say I'm very impressed by and pleased that since Bray has come back, Hunter has decided to tie Alexa back up with the whole storyline with Bray. And okay, bye, Brooke. Great chat, Brooke. Thank you for coming. No, Brooke's back. There they are.
Wi-Fi issues.
Okay. I'm very pleased that Alexa's being tied back into the whole Bray situation. I was about to say Fiend situation. We don't even know if the Fiend's coming. I would love to see the Fiend coming, but this whole Uncle Howdy, whatever the fuck, love that. Way too early to give her a title run, my opinion. I just need to let the storyline fester up a bit.
To me, it just would feel really anticlimactic to Bianca's run. And maybe that's just me. As much because I love Alexa Bliss, I love all of her in-ring work. I think she's a highly underrated in-ring worker, very good on the microphone as well. But Bianca has been champion since WrestleMania last year, and I feel like her first run on SmackDown got cut way too short, and she's had the belt for 8 months now, which again, not even close to being a short reign, but she deserves to take that belt a full year. I want to see her take it through WrestleMania. I don't even know if I wanted her to drop it at Mania. I think I just want to see her keep it forever. So
you also have to think about this too, right? Alexa Bliss right now is being tempted by the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, whatever you want to call it, right? This other side. We're seeing Twisted Bliss's return. If she wins, then does she really need Twisted Bliss?
Exactly.
Very good.
I agree. That's why I personally feel like Alexa is amazing. I do love Alexa Bliss. I appreciate her work. I appreciate her on the mic. I appreciate the characters that she's developing. And with Bray Wyatt coming back and all this stuff happening, I do feel like she needs to continue to let that storyline continue before giving her a belt. Because I agree, if you give her the belt, why does she need the Twisted Bliss angle? Why can't she just be Alexa Bliss and continue her, and be the champion? She wouldn't need all that. I feel like if she loses to Bianca Belair, that could draw her into another crazy, twisted place and can bring out more of the Twisted Bliss character and develop it more. And something, I don't know who in the women's division will match the Twisted Bliss character, but maybe she'll just be twisted by herself and scare the whole women's locker room like Bray Wyatt does, and she can be that person for the women's division, which is great, which is fine. I just feel like taking the belt off of Bianca to give to her right now would be very premature in developing her story. So develop the story, let her get more twisted, more crazy, and then give her the title. It's not like she has not been champion before, and I don't think that, and I believe she'll be champion again. I just don't think this is the right time to do it. And I just love Bianca Belair because she is the EST. We cannot say that Bianca Belair without saying the EST of the WWE. She deserves to keep her belt, like you said, for the year. Mm-hmm. And go back to Mania. If she loses at Mania, okay.
Yeah.
Whatever. But I do believe she deserves it.
I'm going to backpedal a bit. Now that I'm thinking about it and who I think is going to win the Rumble, I wouldn't mind Bliss being champion by the time Mania's around.
See,
because there's a scenario that I want to see play out.
Fair enough.
Enlighten me.
I don't want to spoil who I think is going to win the Rumble yet. Oh, shit.
I think I know who I think is going to win the Rumble. And I can see why that character against an Alexa Bliss would
I think
work.
we're on the same path.
I think so too. But I feel like that should be later. Like, let this person win the Rumble. and Alexa gets even more twisted, and then their paths cross later. If we talk about the same person, but we'll figure that out when we start talking about
We probably are because I feel like there's every time I've been seeing predictions, it's been constantly the same person that's been predicted.
Yeah.
So.
I'm gonna make a bold prediction though. I think Bianca Belair wins by disqualification, not by pinfall or submission. I'm thinking we're gonna get some Uncle Howdy shenanigans, and it's gonna finally make Bliss snap and go full aggro, and she won't be able to contain herself, and Bianca's gonna win by disqualification.
Okay.
That's my prediction.
That's a good prediction. I'm not even mad at that, honestly. So, okay, a little off topic, but still on topic. Are we ever gonna find out who the heck Uncle Howdy is anytime soon, or are we gonna drag it out?
I can tell you who I think it is.
I think I know who it is, but I'm just saying, are they going to? Not I know, but I have my.
It could be one or
but
two.
I won't
people.
tell you.
It could be one or two people in my eyes, and one person is known to the WWE. The other person is not quite as known to the WWE that has recently been signed. That could be.
I think okay. So let's just go out and say it. Who do we think Uncle Howdy is? Because I think that's who I said. That's who I said.
For those of you who don't know, Bo Dallas and Bray Wyatt are brothers.
Our brothers.
Yeah. And which would literally make him Bray Wyatt's kid's uncle.
Right.
But the other person who I think Lewis is talking about is Vincent, right?
Vincent. Yes, Vincent.
Yeah. Formerly of Ring of Honor and Impact, if you're unfamiliar with Vincent.
Yes.
He's been in the NXT crowds a couple times, and he got signed like 2 months ago, I think. So hasn't appeared on anything yet, but he appeared in the NXT crowds in November. So
who's to say he hasn't appeared yet? Who's to say he hasn't been one of the appearances as Howdy?
I mean, to be fair, he has not made an official appearance as Vincent in any capacity.
Not an official Vincent appearance.
I feel perhaps maybe the more pertinent question isn't who, but when. When do we get to see? Are we going to see it at the Rumble?
Right. That's what I was thinking. I was like, I don't think we're going to see it Rumble. I'm figuring WrestleMania
at the
a big Uncle Howdy reveal.
There's a chance we might not even get to find out.
We might not even ever know. I don't know. No, we'll know because something will happen and
something will happen where it'll be like I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll see.
But we'll see. But let's move on to this next. We're going to stay in the reign of Alexa Bliss and go to the Bray Wyatt versus LA Knight pitch black match.
It's not pitch black. It is the Mountain Dew pitch black match. Which
is it still Mountain Dew? Because is it still Mountain Dew? Because they were promoting it the other day without the Mountain Dew sponsorship. So have they dropped?
It's still on Wikipedia.
It's still Mountain Dew.
Yeah. Here's my problem. Okay, you have Bray Wyatt back. Right, arguably one of the biggest losses, if not the single biggest loss in that entire release pool in 2021-2022. You put his first match back as a sponsored match. You know what happened last time WWE had a sponsored match? It was the freaking lumberjack match with the Miz and John Morrison, Extreme Rules, the one with the zombies. Anyone recall?
That was horrible. That was horrible, but I wouldn't mind it if it's a repeat of like the whole crazy shit we saw at lockdown WrestleMania. If we can get Firefly Funhouse where they like legit use Mountain Dew.
Pitch Black, Bray Wyatt. I can see the connection. With those lights go out, we might see something else.
I mean, I feel like if we're going to get the Fiend, this will be the time we get him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If we're going to get, and I would prefer, like, I know a lot of people won't, this might be an unpopular opinion, but I would prefer this match be like the lockdown matches when they didn't have a crowd and they had to make it very theatrical.
Yeah.
And it was like everything was, like very much like a movie.
It was edited.
It was very much edited in a movie. And I know people are like, well, we have a crowd. Why would we do that? Because it's a stupid pitch black match. Like, I don't want to sit and watch a pitch black match and just them wandering around in the dark. I need them to do something. Make it spectacular for me.
If anything, I think Funhouse Bray Wyatt would be the best place to put the product placement of Mountain Dew in, because he's so crazy and like
I can see Funhouse.
Funhouse Wyatt would do that, like be like, this match is brought to you by, and like mid match just stop beating up LA Knight and just product placement of Mountain Dew.
Well, we also got to think about this though too. You have LA Knight in this matchup as well, who, as someone who is a big fan of his work in Impact, as Eli Drake, and I'm also a big fan of his work in NXT. I'm not going to count LA Knight out of this match just yet. I know it's Bray's first match back, but this is LA Knight's first big pay-per-view match ever on the main roster.
Well, bro, so it's not your job to count him out of the match. That's definitely going to be the ref.
Oof.
One thing I will say is one thing that annoyed the F out of me when we did have Bray Wyatt last time was we constantly had Bray Wyatt losing important matches. Like the one with Randy Orton, the one with fucking Goldberg, the one with
we do not talk about that freaking pay-per-view, Lewis. We don't do it. We don't do it.
I'm just saying, if we constantly have Bray Wyatt losing matches,
why do we bring him back?
Like, why? Like, what?
And I completely agree. Definitely back, and I definitely think he's back to win. I don't see any of the other way here.
Yeah, I think Bray is going to. I think he's going to win it. I think it's. I just really, like I said, I really want it to be like that Undertaker AJ Styles match back at Mania when they just did the whole theatrical thing, and I'm sure people they don't want to watch it when they pay him for whatever. I want to see it. I ain't going to the Royal Rumble, so I don't mind watching it on TV. And I want to see something like that.
We already saw that Taker's given Bray Wyatt the seal of approval. So.
That's what I was about to say. I was literally about to say that. Like, we just saw the Undertaker pass the torch of darkness to Bray Wyatt. Yeah. So they have got to let Bray Wyatt win this match and win it spectacularly, or what was all that for in the first place?
I'm just very excited for this match because it's the only one I feel like you can't call most of what's going to happen ahead of time. We have no idea what this match is actually going to be. It's the pitch black match. What does that mean?
What does that mean?
And new match types are always a little dicey because I remember people were really excited about the Dean Ambrose, Chris Jericho Asylum match 7 or 8 years ago, and that was really bad. But then you have matches like the freaking I'm blanking on the name of the match, but it was God, I literally War Games when they brought War Games back, right?
Yeah.
WWE's War Games. People were worried, but it was actually really good.
I love that fight pit match that they've recently started doing.
Yeah, and I mean, it's becoming standard now because Impact just did a fight pit 2 or 3 weeks ago with Mike Bailey and Kenny King.
So the real worry is: are we going to see a really good match, or are we going to see a fake fiesta? That's kind of more my worry. Because we have at least one wrestler who's known for their fake powers, right? And we're in a pitch black match. I don't know. With everything else, I think that's the main worry. But hopefully, we get a good match in the interim.
Mm. I'm cautiously optimistic. Bray Wyatt will probably win.
Same. Agreed.
Yeah.
We can hope.
Right.
I wouldn't mind. I don't think I would mind as an LA Knight win as much as I hated the Goldberg win. I don't think it'll be that level of.
If LA Knight wins, it will be because of shenanigans. It will not be clean. That is the only thing I'm going to say. I don't think he will, but if he does, that will be how he wins.
And that last loss will bring out, the man downstairs.
It's possible.
Mm-hmm. It's possible. Alrighty, let's move along to the Universal Championship match between Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens.
Roman Reigns retains.
I mean, please do not cut me off when I'm giving my spiel, Brook. Please.
I'm sorry.
I was about to say we saw Kevin Owens vow to either win this match or die trying last night on Raw. So now I will say, who do we think is going to win the match?
If Roman Reigns drops this belt here, these entire past 2 years have been meaningless.
I think. I mean, at this point, I think this is going to be a special guest ref match with Sami as the referee. It hasn't been officially announced, but it's going to happen because Roman said that Sami's got his final test on this night. And I think this could be Sami's final test to prove his loyalty to the bloodline.
Great. So, do we have any thoughts on where Sami Uso's line is going to go? Are we going to see Sami Uso?
So, here's my running theory, is that something's going to happen that's going to cause Sami to indirectly help Kevin. Roman's going to retain, right, after that whole whatever. Then Friday on SmackDown after the Rumble, Sami's going to get kicked out of the bloodline. We're going to get Sami versus Roman at Elimination Chamber, right? Roman's going to retain there. And then at Mania, we're going to get the Usos versus Kevin and Sami for the tag titles. So, to me, I feel like eventually Sami's going to be with Kevin again, but right now he's probably leaning bloodline. Like, it's very tricky.
So here's my thoughts. I have thoughts about this. I've been thinking very long and hard about this. I feel like Sami Zayn is going to do what he has to do to help the bloodline at the Rumble. Roman is going to retain. But I also feel Sami Zayn is going to be in the Rumble and he's going to win the Rumble. And he's going to have to face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania because of this whole jealousy back and forth between Roman getting mad that Sami's getting so much props. Now, that's one theory. I have like 8 theories of who can win this Rumble, so don't take that as my final theory. That's just one. But I feel like Sami can win the Rumble out of some crazy... Something happens, Sami wins the Rumble and has to face Roman. Or it happens at the Elimination Chamber. Either he gets him at WrestleMania or he gets him at Elimination Chamber. But Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn will fight. And they will fight at some point because he's going to get kicked out of the bloodline at some point. I don't know if it's going to happen at Rumble, though, because this is the problem. Because I don't think he'll do that to Jay. Because I think what happened yesterday with Jay, I think that really meant something to Sami. So for him to turn on the bloodline right now, right after that just happened, would be kind of counterproductive to what this whole thing is. If he was on his way out, I don't think they would have did that whole thing with Jay. So I think it might has to be something more drastic to make Sami actually turn completely on the bloodline and everybody in the bloodline. Like, he's going to turn on everybody in the bloodline if he turns on. Not just Roman, but everybody.
See, I'm of the opinion that I don't feel like he's going to turn on the bloodline. I feel like the bloodline's going to turn on him.
I don't know. I think Sami's going to get sick of him. I think he's going to get sick of being questioned by Roman. I think that's going to happen at some point.
See, my thought process is, if you have Sami turn on the bloodline, right? Unless they book it like an enough's enough kind of thing where he just like loses his cool after one too many beratements, like, it's weird to me that you would have, it almost feels a bit like underhanded if they don't turn on him, because like they accepted him into the family, they questioned his loyalty, but for the most part they've helped him out, they've taken care of him, they got him opportunities and stuff like that. And on the flip side of that, if they turn on Sammy, then they were just using him the entire time. But if Sammy turns on them, then who was really using who? And I feel like in this particular storyline, the Bloodline have to turn on him. They have to.
We'll see. But that also brings up a bigger question, which is perhaps leading into Mania, are we going to start to see the complete destruction of the Bloodline? Perhaps this will be the inciting incident, because I have a theory that I don't think he's going to betray Jay. Because I
don't think so either.
Jimmy are going to turn on Roman at WrestleMania.
I
can see that.
Here for it. And then we also got to think about the factor, because you got Solo Sikoa as well this past Monday Night on Raw. He was ready to spike Zayn.
He's ready. I feel like it's going to be an inter-war between the Bloodline, because Solo is definitely Team Roman at this point. I think Jay never forgot how Roman treated him at the beginning of this whole Bloodline thing. Jay is just holding it out, biding his time, waiting. And I can see Jay and Jimmy sticking with Sammy and turning against Solo and Roman. And then when Roman loses his belt, he's going to leave for a while. We know he's going to take a long whatever.
He might
might just leave for a while. So Solo will be there by himself against Jimmy and Jay and Sammy. I don't know.
There's a part of me that still wants Jey Uso to beat Roman for this belt, because you watched that Hell in a Cell match.
Yes.
You remember. But I mean, obviously it's never going to happen at this point. We're in too deep. Somebody has to take the belt off Roman before Jay would turn on them, I feel like. Or vice versa. But regardless of this particular match, I feel like Roman is going to win either way. So that's my goal. Roman's winning. Kevin Owens.
Yeah, I mean, I think Sammy's reffing the match. I think there's going to be some hesitance involved, but I still think Roman's going to retain. But I do want the payoff being that Sammy is the reason that Roman drops the belts.
Okay.
Or belt, depending on if
they're splitting it up again.
I don't know what's going on.
Allegedly, they're splitting the belts before. They're going to be splitting them at Elimination Chamber.
I mean, what's going on with the tag team situation, with them doing the SmackDown title tournament, whatever the fuck, that is telling me that they're trying to split all the belts up.
They need to, because what's the point of having all the belts in one person? It just makes no sense.
I mean, I find if they had a unified tag belt, because we don't have a ton of tag teams right now. But
we have quite a few.
I think we do. We just don't get
12 or 13. That gives depth to the division. But
Okay, and a little off topic, but on topic, I just want to say this. Solo Sikoa has one of the best theme songs out there right now. I just want to put it out there. That song hits so hard. I had never really paid attention to it until I went to Raw last week when it came here. And I was like, wait a minute. Solo's music is hitting kind of hard right now. And I just like to put that out there.
Certainly
one of the best right now. I was like, whew, it was hitting so hard.
Most of these recent themes have been really rough. So it's refreshing to have a good theme like Solo's.
I just want to put that out there. Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the Royal Rumble match. Should we talk about the women or the men first? Who do we want to go with? I'll let you all decide.
Do the women, because we haven't talked about a women's match since the first thing.
Yeah, sure. Let's talk about the women's Royal Rumble match. We'll talk about who we think are going to be some surprise entrants, if there are any surprise entrants, and who we feel is going to win. I'll let you all start that conversation.
Can I start with
before we do, I was just going to say the 7 people that are confirmed for the Women's Rumble first, and then go from there, if that works for people.
Sure.
All right. Currently confirmed for the Women's Royal Rumble, barring anything between now and Saturday, we have Liv Morgan. I love Liv Morgan. That's my queen. We have Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, Raquel Rodriguez, Shayna Baszler, Zelina Vega, and Emma. Those are the 7 confirmed entrants. I'm assuming we're going to get more people like Dana Brooke, Io Shirai, Dakota Kai, Bailey, etc. Mia Yim, Michin, yes. More people will be on the main roster, are going to get either announced or they're just going to be in it. But those are the people that are confirmed in it as of right now.
I've got a few surprises in mind.
Yes, me too. But go ahead, Lewis. Who was your first surprise entrant?
Someone that's been apparently re-signed to WWE, but we haven't seen them on WWE programming since they've re-signed. Chelsea Green. I think Chelsea Green is a possibility.
That's a good pick.
Okay. Wes, who is one of your surprise interests? Let's do that. We don't want to see them all at one time.
It's interesting enough because I'm going pretty much with little to no information about this women's Royal Rumble match. I've put a lot of my thought into the men's Royal Rumble match, but I would guess, obviously we've talked about like the Hollies, the Litas, we're gonna get someone who's like real old original good foundation of the women's Rumble in general.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And so I feel like Wes danced around the person who, in his wildest fantasies, would be a surprise entrant for this Royal Rumble there. Wes, you want to tell him?
Go ahead, Brook.
Wes firmly would love to see AJ Lee show up in this Royal Rumble.
I can't ask for anything, boy.
You can ask for whatever you like. Wes.
Yeah, this is the place to tell. We directly are involved with WWE, so you tell us, and then we'll get in contact. We'll get in touch. And then...
My favorite era of women's wrestling in general was when AJ Lee was running everything, and I'm a huge fan. I would certainly hope to see it, but I don't know if I even can believe in those chances myself.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go from NXT.
Okay.
I think if we're going to get anybody from NXT, I think like there are like 3 or 4 pretty obvious picks. But the one I'm going to go for is Cora Jade. Cora Jade is not in the NXT women's title match the next day. I feel like there might be a reason for that. Also, out of everybody in the women's division in NXT, she's probably the one who would be the best surprise entrant here outside of maybe Katana Chance, Casey Catanzaro, and Kaden Carter. Any of the 3 of them.
I'd argue. Sorry, I've got. I'll save it for my next surprise because I've just got another idea of what you were just saying.
But yeah, Cora Jade would be a great entrant here, especially since you have Roxanne Perez, her lifelong rival now, is the NXT Women's Champion. If Cora's not fighting her at Vengeance Day on Sunday, let her get a Royal Rumble spot. I think it'd be good for her.
Okay. I think my first will be, I think somebody's coming back. It'll be Carmella. I think we haven't seen Carmella in a while, and I think she'll be coming back for the Royal Rumble. Don't really think she'll have a chance of doing anything that she always does, but I do think she'll be back.
That'd be great. I do miss Carmella. She's a good heel. She's a very
yeah.
Which do you want to hear first? Do you want to hear my NXT pick or my throwback pick?
Let's hear your NXT.
Okay, let's do my NXT pick. Alba Fire.
That is a very good shout.
Yeah, Alba Fire, formerly known as Kaylee Ray. I think she's a great NXT pick to get a Rumble spot.
She's also probably the best wrestler on the NXT roster right now, male or female, and I said that shit. So yeah, she would be a great main roster call up too, even though they're probably about to put her in a tag team with Isla Dawn for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Okay. Wes?
So when it comes to my other Rumble pick for the Women's Royal Rumble, I think that a lot of them for me are going to be a lot of like the originators. And when I think of like some of the people who made this division, and we saw them 2 years ago, and I see no reason why they couldn't come back, would be Beth Phoenix. I could easily see their return here, and they always, in my opinion, show up at Rumbles. really, really good for the sport. Incredible physique at her age. I can see it happening again. We saw it in 2020.
I agree.
The other thing about Beth Phoenix, I don't think we've seen her since the Judgment Day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a good way to bring her back.
Bring her back with Rhea Ripley and have her and Rhea Ripley do a little
a moment.
Yeah.
So this one is a bit fantasy looking because I know this will not happen, but this is just something I personally really want. We have seen pretty much every woman from like the 2000 to like 2009 division of WWE for the most part come to Rumble at some point, but there are like 2 names that haven't yet. One of them will never, I don't think, ever come back to WWE in any circumstances. But the other one, who I think would be a really good shout, I know she's retired. She just retired though, so she's still in good shape. Jazz. Give me Jazz in the Women's Rumble, please.
Period. Say that. Like, deserved. Should. Period.
Like, I feel like we forget that the women's division was not only Trish and Lita in the 2000s.
Exactly. We had Trish, Lita, and Jazz.
And Victoria. Like, those were the 5 like cornerstones of that division. And all of them have been in the Rumble except for Jazz. Give Jazz her spot, please.
Please. I agree.
What you got, Lana?
Oh, shout out to Jacqueline too. Just wanted to put her name out there. I just love her.
I love her.
This one actually is I don't think it's, well, I'm going to put it, she's my surprise and my winner. Because I just feel like this person will come back and win this thing, and deservedly so, and should, because of the way they were treated when they were there the first time. And I will say that if anybody is not feeling the glow and Naomi don't come back and finally win this Rumble and go on to WrestleMania, fight Charlotte and win, period, I don't know what's happening in this world, because she was mistreated when she was here, when she had the SmackDown champion and made her own belt, and they tried to shut it down. But come on, you got the glow. You need a glow belt, and I need to see the glow belt again. Period.
That belt is probably the best custom championship they've had.
The best one ever. I don't care what nobody say.
The only other one I can think that even comes close is like the Daniel Bryan him belt.
I don't even like that belt. No,
that belt was stupid. I love it.
But yes, Naomi is my pick to come back, my pick to win, and if it doesn't happen, I will be upset.
I think there's a chance that definitely could happen. I think there's a stronger chance of a return, but I don't want to give them a shout out on the pod. So I will go with my throwback pick.
Okay.
I actually have 3 throwback picks, but I'm trying to like narrow down to who I want to
say them all.
Shall I say them all?
Just say them all. Go ahead. It's okay.
Okay, 3 throwback picks. Caitlyn.
Mother.
I've not thought about Caitlyn in a minute.
Yeah, exactly. Candice Michelle. It's been a minute since we've seen Candice. And my major throwback pick, Sable.
I mean,
her never happen.
It won't happen, but her husband is there, so why not? Her husband is there, why not?
Steve Austin.
I don't think he would want her to do it again, because no. But yeah, her man is there, so I don't see why she couldn't come out here and do it again. But the only thing is, Sable couldn't come back and not look like Sable, because Sable was such a iconic Sable figure in the WWF. Like, if Sable came out looking like anything other than Sable, folks be like, who is that? And that's not, she will get criticized. As unfortunate as it is for the women in this division, you have to keep yourself a certain way in order for people to want you around, and that's just the bottom line. And as we see, that's why Sunny ain't coming back for that and multiple other reasons. But she looks horrible. She looks a mess right now, so she could never come back.
Well, she doesn't only look a mess. She has been a mess. That's
what I'm about to say. For that and other reasons, she's a mess. But she could not come back and do what Look at Kelly. She looks amazing. That's why she's able to come back every year and do a Rumble and do it well. Michelle McCool, another one. She looks amazing. Beth Phoenix, amazing. They can go off, have kids.
God, you've just reminded me of someone.
Oh, I have someone too. Can I do mine before?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. This is somebody who I'm shocked has not been back for the Rumble ever. She also kind of low-key carried the division for like 3 years in between the Melina days and before the AJ Lee days. Eve Torres, please.
Has she not been back?
She's not.
She's not been back.
Wow.
No.
I
Also,
was gonna suggest Layla.
That would be great too.
I would love to see her come back. I would love to see her come back if Michelle McCool will come back and they do Lay Cool one more time. Like, I would love that.
And I would love
where's
single entrant together because they were co-champions at one point.
I feel we remiss also not talk about a couple of the GOATs that could obviously make a return, and of course there I'm talking about Lita or Trish Stratus.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
I think Lita will come back.
Trish is
don't mention them, and they show up. You know, I feel like those are freebies, but I feel like they need to be said. So,
well, there is one other name that I feel like should be in this conversation, and she was very much talked about last year when she did enter the Women's Royal Rumble as a surprise entrant. Well, it wasn't really a surprise; they announced it like 2 weeks ahead of time.
Melina,
Mickie James is Impact Women's Champion again. As of right now, she is the Impact Women's Champion. I would love to see Mickie come back again. Her entrance last year was a huge deal, extremely big deal for WWE. We could see Mickie James. I would be really hyped to see her.
I mean, I would like.
Do we know?
Go ahead.
Do we know who? Sorry. Do we know who I'm alluding to when I say return? That's almost definitely happening. Because I don't know if we are on the same wavelength. No.
No. Then who?
Nia.
I hope not.
I unfortunately, well, unfortunately, depending on how you feel, I think Nia Jax is coming back.
I really hope not, because I really don't want somebody to get injured in this Royal Rumble. I'm sorry, but you injure Kairi Sane, you injure Charlotte, you injure, Becky Lynch. You've injured too many people in a year. Pass up.
I mean, Kairi Sane ain't been back since
she's stardom now. She left the company.
Oh yeah, she's in Japan now.
She was like, "No, thank you," and I don't blame her. I really don't. I mean, like, you are not
away from Nia.
Keep me now.
Yeah.
I mean, if Nia comes back, sure, whatever. We didn't mention Tamina either. I think she'll be in there as well because Tamina always is there.
Nobody's meaner than Tamina. Now, there is one other name that we haven't mentioned that hasn't been announced. Hasn't really been on TV since Survivor Series.
Doudrop.
Okay,
where's Doudrop?
Doudrop was great. But I'm referring to Wes's favorite wrestler on the planet, Asuka.
Has she really been gone that long?
She hasn't been on TV. Yeah. I don't think. Outside of
she was still down there. I was like,
would I be happy? Now, something that would make me even happier, and this was relatively a crackpot theory, we'll say, but we have had a certain door, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, be broken recently. I won't say any more than that, waiting for later. What if we had the possibility of the door being broken again for a WrestleMania or Royal Rumble appearance because that door has been opened, if you know what I mean?
Yes.
So what if we got...
Which door was opened? Because there's been many doors opened.
A certain forbidden door, if you will.
Certain forbidden door, if you
will. Okay.
So, we can see something crazy here and see a returning wrestler or a wrestler featured from a different company who makes a Rumble appearance. It's a possibility.
I think our most likely company, if we are going to get somebody from another company that isn't Mickie James from Impact, I think we're going to be getting somebody from Pro Wrestling Noah, because we just had wrestle Great Muta in Pro Wrestling Noah 2 weeks ago. And that been like a deal they worked out, so that way somebody from Noah could appear in the Rumble, and then so they could let Nakamura fight Muta. Or we could just get Mickie James, and if we get Mickie James, I'm okay with that.
I mean, let's not shut down the possibility of us getting Kyrie. We know that Carl Anderson was doing some dates with New Japan, so maybe it could have been a deal like you get Carl Anderson, we get Kyrie for this one date. But I doubt it. I highly doubt that that's going to happen.
Especially if Nia Jackson's coming back, Kyrie gonna be like, "No, thank you."
But I could easily see that crackpot idea becoming more and more of a chance.
I love how we said three guesses each, but we've just thrown everything
under the wall. I mean, it is what it is.
It is the Royal Rumble. It is the women's Royal Rumble, you know.
Also, I do think what we were alluding to earlier, Lewis, I think we're on the same page. I know I said I want Naomi to come back and win. That was one of my theories for this match, but I also think Rhea Ripley is going to could possibly win this Royal Rumble. She wins. She takes the belt off of Bianca Belair at WrestleMania. Twisted Bliss, Rhea Ripley coming together to fight in another later day.
Just imagine.
So are all three of you picking Rhea?
I said my pick. My pick is Naomi, but Rhea Ripley is another one.
I feel that Rhea a no-brainer.
So I'm gonna let my heart tell me what I want here, because
we know you want Liv Morgan to win.
I want
Lord.
Okay, but I actually have a legitimate reason why I think Liv Morgan could win this Rumble, right? So one, she is the only person who's been getting a Royal Rumble storyline about the Royal Rumble. Typically, whenever they do that, they either get tossed out immediately or they make it a really deep run and sometimes win. Right, so there's that. But the other reason is Charlotte is the SmackDown Women's Champ, and if anyone remembers correctly, there was a mini feud that happened a couple years back that never really got finished between Liv and Charlotte, where Charlotte told Liv, she was like, "You're not real. Go become real." Liv left and then came back with the whole Rusev, Lana, Bobby Lashley, Liv Morgan storyline that I'd rather not remember, but Liv Morgan fighting Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania for the SmackDown Women's title. She might not win the Rumble, but I feel like that would be a really good storyline. So I'm going to say, even though I know it's probably going to be Rhea, I'm going to pick Liv, but it's probably Rhea, but I'm going to pick Liv.
I don't think Liv's winning the Rumble, but I think that storyline could still happen because there's 2 women's belts currently, and I think I don't think Liv would win because she won Money in the Bank, and I think that Hunter's a kind of booker where you win this thing or that thing, you don't win them both.
Well, this is also the first time they had to create for a Rumble. So we have no idea what he's going to do. He could pull something out of his pocket, and then Dana Brooke just wins the Women's Royal Rumble. We don't know.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
That would be such a waste of spot.
Is she still with us? Is she? Oh no! Wait! The way I just phrased that made it sound like she's dead. She's not dead. No, but she's still in WWE, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently. So, but okay. So are we? Yeah. Rhea, Liv, Rhea, Naomi. Period. There we go. So we talked about the women. So it's only fair that we talk about the men. And I'm sure this conversation could last a minute because everybody has thoughts about this. Let's first do the confirmed.
Okay, so as of recording, there are 15 confirmed entries for the Men's Royal Rumble, which means you only have 15 more to get announced. And those are in the order that they were announced. Kofi Kingston, no duh. Santos Escobar, Ricochet, Austin Theory, Seth Rollins, Bobby Lashley, Baron Corbin, Rey Mysterio, Gunther, Adrenaline in his soul, something, Cody Rhodes, Omos, Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, Braun Strowman, and Karrion Kross are the current 15 announced entrants for the Men's Royal Rumble.
That's actually a very strong group of people right there already. But okay. So who do we think is going to appear in this Royal Rumble?
I would like to start.
Sure, Wes, please.
We have had I suspect we're going to have a very dark Royal Rumble. We have the potential Fiend, the potential Twisted Bliss, and Rhea Ripley, and I have a strong suspicion it's going to be ended with the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
You think Cody's?
I have a feeling Cody's going to win the Royal Rumble because you do not have a match like Hell in a Cell. Something that I think a Triple H could see the absolute merit in that 5-star all-class match. And I don't think you book it any other way. That talent being pushed, he's over with the crowd right now. I don't see any other way. And I think he's going straight to Mania.
See, that match would have been 6 stars in the film. But as much as I would love for Cody to win, I don't know how petty Triple H is going to be in his booking here. We all know about the sledgehammer. We all know about the throne sledgehammer moment in AEW. How petty will Triple H be? That's my question.
I don't think Triple H cares too much about that, to be honest.
I don't either.
That being said,
mm-hmm.
I will say I thought there was a world where Cody was winning the Royal Rumble until they outright announced him for the Royal Rumble. At that point, I thought, okay, I don't think he's winning. I don't know. That's just me. I think if he was going to win, they wouldn't have announced anything until, oh my god, it was Cody. Oh my god, like almost like Edge 2010 Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
was it 2010? The one.
Yeah, it was 2010.
The one where he returned and then won. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. John Cena 2010, 2008 as well. Same situation.
Yeah, John Cena. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Less interesting to me is about the win because I'm pretty sure I agree with who I think is going to win. I think Cody's winning. But I am about 95% sure we're going to see the return of Matt Riddle at the Rumble. He's been out in rehab for a couple months. It's been about 3 months. I feel like now would be a good time to bring him back, especially because I don't really feel like there's been a lot of buzz about him coming back at the Rumble, but this is the perfect time. So Matt Riddle in the Royal Rumble is my pick here, but my big pick that I'm pretty proud.
Am I gonna say the elephant in
the room? Go ahead, because if you say what I'm thinking, then yes, go ahead. I will let you know.
I think a certain Dwayne The Rock
That's
Johnson
who I was going to say. I do.
It's already been confirmed that he's not.
No, it's not. It's not confirmed that he's not.
It's
the man
not
is
confirmed.
He's
just because he says
right.
Just because he says no, it's not on, doesn't mean it's not on.
No,
anyone can say that at any given time.
I'm about to say him saying he's not coming back is not confirmation that he's not coming back, because this is why I say he could come back. This man has taken a year away from any filming. A year. That has not ever been a thing for The Rock. The Rock has never had a year where he's not filming anything at any time. And he's been having interviews where people have been asking him about wrestling, and he's very much like, okay, hinting and trolling. Like they asked him, who is the head of the table? And he was like, me. So I'm like, really, Rock? We doing this right now? I think The Rock is coming back. If he doesn't come back, I would be shocked, but I wouldn't be mad if he didn't, but I would be happy if he did.
To add to your point, Keisha, not Keisha, Lana, fuck. Sorry about that. What the fuck? Sorry, that was completely, that looked racist. Oh my
that
God.
looked very like, me and Keisha don't look nothing like. Oh my God.
I am not. Anyway,
you're good.
To add to your point, Lana, this match has had to have been penned in for like 3 years now, because we were convinced that we'd be in LA 3 years ago, but because of the whole lockdown, whatever the fuck, this match has been in the books for 3 years. So they've had plenty of time to prepare for it. I think, and they've been dropping hints here and there and everywhere. During the opening package for yesterday, they had the Rock has finally come back home. I thought that was a little tease that The Rock is actually coming back. The YouTube today dropped Royal Rumble 2014, where Roman Reigns and The Rock are on the graphic, or on the male together, I think it's happening. I genuinely think it's happening.
I think, point blank and the period, if this happens, I will cash out both of you $10. If he comes back and wins. I am that confident this man is not going to be at the Royal Rumble.
Okay, my Cash App is $ Lana G78. Just remember.
You know what? I'm that confident. I'm that confident that if he doesn't come back, I'll pay you.
I just think it's happening. I just do. I just feel it in my gut and in my bones that this is happening. And if it doesn't happen, like I said, if it doesn't happen, I'm not going to be too upset about it because there's so many ways that these stories could go. But if it does happen, first of all, I'm going to feel $10 richer. Second of all, I'm going to feel like this story has been, like you said, has been planned out for the longest, and we finally get to see the whole head of the table thing come to a head. And I don't think Roman loses to The Rock. I think Sami Zayn has something to do with I feel like that whole storyline can come together at WrestleMania with The Rock and Roman Reigns, and Sami Zayn's story. I just think more can happen.
It is strange that we are missing a piece of the true bloodline for the bloodline storyline.
I mean,
I do have to say that.
The only reason I don't think it's happening is not because The Rock said it wasn't happening, is because I don't know how much you guys follow Sean Ross Sapp from Fightful. His calls are pretty on the nose. He rarely misses. He said it's not happening either. So because of that, that's why I don't think it's happening.
This is the same situation with Edge, though.
I mean, to be fair, he did.
Everyone was
so there's that.
Everyone was declining until the day of, and then.
I mean, we'll see.
We'll see.
Cool. I would personally prefer The Rock not to win, just because I really hate it when part-timers win the Royal Rumble. Personally, I think it just deflates my vibe with the Rumble so much.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
especially
at this rate, that's the only world we are getting Roman versus Rock, unless Roman drops before Mania, which is not happening.
If you don't get Rock at Mania, I'm okay with it. I think that match would be great.
I only have an issue with Brock Lesnar, so anything.
Please, please, I don't want that man to come back and win nothing else.
Though,
if I see that, I will defenestrate myself out a window.
I promise you, if Brock Lesnar wins this Rumble, I will no longer watch WWE. I cannot do it anymore because this man always seems to come back and does something and then wins championships right away. And it's ridiculous. Like, what is the chokehold Brock Lesnar has on the W? Who owes this man? Who he know? Whose wife he know slept with somebody else? Because this man can decide when he wanted. Like, he knows something. He holding something over somebody's head that he knows that if it come out, it's going to obliterate their whole life. Because he could just decide, I'm leaving. No, I'm coming back, and I want a championship when I get here. Like, who does that? Sick of it.
I'm just sick of Brock Lesnar.
I can't do Brock and Roman again. I can't do that again. We've had that 4 or 5 times now. I can't do that anymore. But go ahead, Lewis.
I was going to say, I'm slightly peed off they're running the whole Brock Bobby thing because it makes no sense. But at the same time, it keeps Brock distracted. So if he's always distracted by Bobby, he'd forget there's a Rumble going on and be like, oh shit, I missed my chance now. So yeah.
I mean, they acting like Brock Lesnar. I don't know why they acting like Brock Lesnar wants a United States championship. Like, he shouldn't even been messing with that match in the first place. Or like, Brock Lesnar don't want no United States championship. He don't want that.
If Brock were to go after the U.S. title, right? And I'm not saying I want him to, but I'm saying if he were, the only way they can make that valid is if they're like, he wants to hit the Grand Slam. Because I'm pretty sure the only belt he doesn't have for the Grand Slam is the U.S. title.
Has he won the Intercontinental?
He won the Intercontinental title when he was first round. I think that was his first belt he won was the IC title. I could be wrong, but
he ain't never been no tag champion, so
has he?
Other surprises. Other surprises. Other surprise
okay,
entries.
yeah, because no Brock Lesnar. I just can't.
Sorry,
Anyway.
I brought his German suplexing face because I'm right there with you, Lana. If Brock Lesnar even shows up tonight, I might just have to turn it off.
Formally apologize for the I just told this group. He has not won the IC title or the tag title or the US title.
So he really don't
apologize.
So no Grand Slam. He ain't trying to go for that. He don't want that belt.
In 2002, that's what it was, not the IC title.
I can't. If Brock Lesnar shows up and wins this thing, that's it for me. I can't.
Okay, what about surprise entrance that we want?
Okay. I have a surprise entrance that I would love to see happen, and this is just from my heart. I want to see Big E come back and be in the Rumble. I don't know if it can happen. I don't know how healed he is or what his medical state is. I just want that man to come back and be able to wrestle again because I love Big E with my whole entire heart. And the fact that he got hurt in my city, at SmackDown, I was like livid and terrified and like traumatized. I want him to come back. I just need him to come back.
Is this the part where I killed the vibe and let you know that he confirmed on Twitter like 2 months ago that his doctors aren't even going to be looking at him again until March to clear him potentially?
I didn't ask for that. You heard me say this was my heart pick.
I know, but I feel
then don't kill my vibe, man. Don't.
I'm sorry.
Just rude. Oh my god.
I think he's lying too. I think him and Dwayne are both lying.
Thank you, Lewis. Thank you. There we are. He's lying.
I would love it.
Who I
conspiracy theorist.
Someone who
Everyone's
I thought. Someone who I want to make a Royal Rumble appearance that I thought could possibly make a Royal Rumble appearance. Then I saw him yesterday and thought maybe not, but I would really love to see this guy get a final wrestling run in WWE, even if it's just a Rumble spot. X-Pac. I think X-Pac deserves like a final WWE wrestler because he can still wrestle. I've seen him. If no one's seen him, he's done GCW, which is a huge independent wrestling company, and he can still hang. He can still go. So I want him to get a final wrestling run in the WWE. If it just means 5 minutes in a Rumble, fine.
If he does, right? I feel like that means we're going to get X-Pac as a solo Hall of Famer this year if he does show up at the Rumble. Because, fun fact, if X-Pac is inducted into the Hall of Fame this year, which low-key he kind of deserves it, he will be the first 3-time Hall of Famer because he's already in with the NWO and DX. So I could see it. I don't think it's the worst, like, old school pick here. Like, not even close. I think it's a good pick, honestly.
I wouldn't be mad.
I doubt he's going to get any more Hall of Fame rings, to be honest.
Not any. But.
Oh, let me put out. This is strictly for my sister who asked me why I didn't ask her to be on the podcast today because I asked my nephew to join us, but he had to work. But my sister asked me why I didn't ask her because she has a pick. And when I say this pick, you'll know why I didn't ask her in the first place. She says Demolition is coming back to the Royal Rumble because she loves Axe and Smash. And I told her they are 63 years old and they will not be coming back.
Yeah.
And she said, and so what? What does that mean? So, yeah.
I mean,
that's for you, Nisha. I just want you to know I put that out there.
I mean, to be fair, Flair did just have a match last year and he was 73. But
Who?
Ric Flair.
That's true, but Axe and Smash from Demolition, which is her favorite tag team in the whole wide world. But yeah, not a horrible pick at all. I love Demolition. just saying. But go ahead. Anybody else?
Wes, you got a surprise pick?
Well, surprise pick, maybe not, but a pick nonetheless that I would like to see is, of course, Orton. But not just Orton. I would like to see Orton and see him get a rather staggeringly long performance. Because from what I'm aware of, Orton has quite a record with length in the Royal Rumble and eliminations, and I want to see him pad that stat because, as we know, Orton's not like old, but he's getting there. And so I would like to see him start padding that Hall of Fame stats.
I'm waiting for Brook to go and crush your dreams. Go ahead, Brook.
I'm not going to crush your dreams. I'm just going to say, if it were to happen, which could, his injury is not as bad as we've been told. Because, and they've done that before.
If already lied to by Big E and, you know, if lies are already among everybody, hope that my dream pick is lying.
Well, Orton's been out, since like June or July. It's been a hot. And they were saying it could have been a career ender. So if he's back, great. I would love to see it. Cautiously optimistic. I think that'd be a great pick.
Listen, if Big can come back, Orton can come back.
That's very fair. My shout is going to be somebody coming in from a different promotion. This is not a Forbidden Door entry. This is just a new signing. All the way from New Japan Professional Wrestling. Straight out of the Bullet Club, we're going to be having Switchblade Jay White debuting at the Royal Rumble this Saturday. He's officially gone from New Japan at the moment, not under contract there. He has really good odds, allegedly. WWE have a lot of interest. Plus, Jay White is just a performer. I would love to see it. It would be a really good pick, and I don't think he'll win, but I think he'd be a really good person to jump in.
I mean, yeah. Let's be real. Go ahead.
Did that loser leaves Japan match already happen?
Yeah, I think so. I think it happened.
I must have missed it then. Fuck.
If it happened, it's going to happen. He might not debut at the Rumble, but.
Well, okay. So these are obvious picks. I think are going because we didn't say them, but I think they're going to be in the Rumble. The Street Profits, we will see them in the Rumble. I believe they will be there. I think what is Zelina's crew?
Legado del Fantasma.
Yeah, I think they're going to be in there.
Santos is already confirmed. The other two
they're confirmed. Okay, yeah, they're in there.
Only Santos Escobar, Joaquin, and I forgot what they renamed Raul Mendoza, but those two have not been confirmed yet.
They'll be there. Also, I think because if I recall, I think Jinder Mahal just came back, right?
On NXT.
On NXT, I think he'll be in the Rumble as well.
I would love that. I'm gonna also shout Nakamura. Just from my personal love, because also Rick Boogs could very well come back. He only tore his ACL. That was at WrestleMania 8 months ago. And as long as he didn't get any major setbacks from the injury, I could definitely see Rick Boogs being back.
A return that has a slimmer chance of happening, but could still be happening. I'm about 35%, 45% sure this is happening. I think we could get the return of Long Island IC.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh.
I could see it. The only thing I would say is, will he be Zack Ryder or will he be Matt Cardona? But
I think he'll be Zack Ryder because he was in WWE long enough to establish himself as Zack Ryder, and I don't think WWE is going to get the rights to the Matt Cardona name.
Well, Zack Ryder just filed for the trademark on Matt Cardona. Just filed for the trademark on Zack Ryder, 2 weeks ago.
Which
it's very possible.
Could mean that did happen, which means this could be happening. Just he owns his own name. I don't think Matt Cardona will care too much if they call him Zack Ryder again, because he was there long enough to build up a fan base and establish himself.
Everyone likes Zack Ryder, and everyone will like Matt. Either way. So I have a very, very simple choice and an extremely. You thought that Randy Orton wasn't happening. I have one that tops even that. Which one would you like to hear first?
Let's do the safe choice, then the wild choice.
Well, my safe choice is Kurt the Hurt Angle.
I would love that. Kurt doesn't have a ton of Royal Rumble history. I know he was runner-up in 2002, Triple H. I think that'd be dope.
Yep, I have a feeling that he's got to show up.
I don't know. I don't know anymore. I think he's not put in enough leg days since his retirement. I think he looks. I saw a video of him on his socials like a few months ago, and he looked way out of it. He looked like he was retired. Let's put it that way.
Perhaps not. But my crazy pick, even crazier than Orton, probably the craziest pick you could have. But in the chance it happens, I will look like a prophet. What if we saw the return of new, I guess you could call it removed from AEW.
Don't say it.
What if
no, that took me a minute.
Yeah,
Punk, he is not signed.
And everywhere you go, always the crowd is chanting CM Punk, CM Punk. And I don't think people will be very upset to see CM Punk jump in the Rumble. I wouldn't be upset if CM Punk jump in the Rumble. I don't know if Vince or Hunter would be apt to bring CM Punk back, but I don't know.
I don't think Punk's entertaining the idea of a WWE return until no McMahon or Helmsley is linked to the WWE product. Unfortunately.
So, as much as I would love to see CM Punk, because I don't give a damn about his personal life with the AEW people, like that's between them. That is none of my business. I think he's really good in the ring, even if he can't hit a buckshot lariat. It's okay. No, I can't either. No judgment. I don't think it'll happen because the Triple H is massive. But one shout that I think people probably aren't thinking about is the Royal Rumble is in San Antonio. So to me, if you're thinking a pro wrestler from San Antonio, the first person that pops in my head is current head of NXT, Shawn Michaels. Now, I don't think he will, but I could definitely see him making an appearance just to pop the crowd. I don't think he'll be in it for sure. He hasn't wrestled since Crown Jewel and Please Never Again. But no, or is it Super Showdown? I don't remember. Regardless, the DX Brothers of Destruction match a couple years back. But I would love to see him at least on the pay-per-view, and if they're not going to put him in the Rumble, at least let him pop in for a minute. Would be really cool.
Hey man, we all saw DX say they are old and retired last night. Mm-hmm. They are not ready to fight. So I don't know. But anytime I can see Shawn Michaels in any capacity, I'm a happy girl because Shawn Michaels is and will forever be my ultimate teenage girl, young girl crush. I love Shawn Michaels forever and ever and ever. I mean, Edge came in and stole my heart out from Shawn Michaels after the second round, but Shawn Michaels was my original love. When I started watching wrestling, I was like, who's that man? I love him, and I don't care if he's a jerk or not. I love him. So Shawn Michaels could do no wrong in my eyes. I don't care. So yeah, Shawn Michaels could pop up and it'll be great. Now, here is my far out dream pick. I don't think it's going to happen. It's very slim to none chance it's going to happen. But if that person comes walking down the aisle in all of his craziness and his gloriness, I will take it and I will love it and I'll be happy to see him. Matt Hardy. That's just me. Love Matt Hardy. Love that man to my souls. I know he's not coming back. I just let a girl dream. Thank you.
You just wanted to, but yes, I respect that.
Just let a girl dream. I just want, deleted. That's it. But it's not happening. I know.
Love Matt Hardy.
Have we even taken from NXT for this Rumble yet?
I don't even.
Do we need to? The only person I could think of would maybe be Carmelo Hayes would be the only one that I would like reasonably think. I would love to see Axiom because I stand the ground that Axiom walks upon. But the only person that really makes sense is Carmelo Hayes to me.
That's who I was thinking. And I don't watch a lot of NXT, but I know him.
Boy,
and I think
but I enjoy if we got that would be extremely entertaining. But
if we got who?
Axiom.
Yes.
It would be entertaining. That's all I got to say.
Also, if we got Nathan Frazier from because he's been gone for a while down there, that whole best of 5 series they had was amazing.
Now, we talked about who might win. We've talked about surprises. Are there any potential new storylines we might see stem from this Royal Rumble?
I would like to make a prediction that involves both a surprise entry and a possible storyline. I feel like after this Rumble, Bobby Lashley is going to be off with Brock Lesnar, and Seth Rollins is going to be off with Roman for Elimination Chamber. That's my current theory. So I'm going to pitch a new challenger for the United States Championship to Austin Theory. And this is my selfish pick. This is the person I want to get one last run with a belt before he retires. I want to see Shelton Benjamin in the Royal Rumble eliminate Austin Theory and get a U.S. Championship run out of it. This man is so good. He has been in this company for the better part of 20 years off and on. He still has it. Watch his stuff on Main Event. I know no one here watches Main Event, but if you have the time, go watch Shelton's matches on Main Event lately. He is so good, and he deserves so much better.
I agree 100%. And I think Shelton Benjamin is very much underrated and should definitely, like, I watched it. They did when they were doing that tag team tournament when they were here in Birmingham, and him and Cedric Alexander. He was amazing. Like, you're right. He still has it, and I think he deserves a whole lot better. He deserves a title run, and I think the U.S. title would be great for him. I think it would be perfect.
It's crazy to think that, when he was first in the company, he had that match with Triple H on Raw, like right after they split up World's Greatest Tag Team the first time. People were saying he was going to win the world title, and can you imagine that happening today? I would love it.
Wow.
I think it would be amazing, but I just can't see it now. But a U.S. title run would be amazing. It serves the world. So,
I agree.
I'm not sure. Personally, the way I'm seeing it, I think they're building up the Hurt Business getting back together. It's just taking its time, because they're trying to rebuild trust between MVP and but I think the Hurt Business is going to eventually come back together.
Yes.
Anyway, back to my surprise entrant, blah blah blah. If we're talking NXT, I know he's wrestling the next day, but they can fly him. Grayson. I think Grayson Waller could get a Rumble spot. Yeah, and I think he's going to be I think he's going to be kind of Rumble entrant that takes his time getting into the ring. Like, he prances around the ring for like 5 seconds, then hops on commentary. I think Grayson's that kind of person.
I would like to apologize for insinuating that Vengeance Day is on Sunday. I am wrong. I checked the date like 10 minutes ago. It is not this Saturday, but it is next Saturday. So
we'll be fine then.
Totally valid. I would also love to see Mustafa Ali in this match. Another person that deserves so much better than he has gotten. Switch him to SmackDown. Let him feud with Gunther for the Intercontinental title. Let him take the belt off of him at WrestleMania. I will be incredibly happy. Also, that match would kick ass. So there's that. Oh, and then Chad Gable as well. I would love to see Chad Gable in this match as well. I'd love it.
Please. I love it. I love it. I'm okay with any of that, honestly. All of those picks, I feel, will be. I'm okay with seeing story happen. I would love to see anything to.
Hold up. Sorry. I just thought of something. Carry on. But I don't.
No, go ahead. Because I'm getting my thoughts.
There's been 2 people that I don't think we're gonna get both of them. we'll probably get one of them. There's two people that just signed a Legends contract with the WWE.
And
that's Rick and Scott Steiner.
Oh, the Steiners.
The Steiners just signed a Legends contract with the WWE. There's a possibility we could be getting a 2-minute spot with one of them.
Most
We
certain.
get either of them, I feel like that means we're going to get Braun Breaker in the match. Like, if we get one, we kind of have to get Braun because, I don't know, like, it would feel weird to me if you have Braun Breaker signed, contracted to this company, and then you don't put Rick Steiner in the Royal Rumble. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Also, I would love for Titus O'Neil to show up in this Royal Rumble.
Oh, the big self.
Give me Titus World Slide Part 2. It needs to happen.
You know what he should do? He should start under the ring and then make his way out of it. Reverse.
No, they literally clear out every single part of anything underneath the ring. This man slip and slides from one side of the ring completely to the other. I will cackle. I just want it for my own personal selfishness. Titus O'Neil.
Okay.
But storyline wise, I think one thing we're definitely gonna get, because Gunther is in the match. I think whoever eliminates Gunther is going to be the next person to challenge him for the Intercontinental Championship, or it's gonna be like Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, or Cody Rhodes. So because of that, I would prefer it being Mustafa Ali, selfishly, but it could be literally anybody on SmackDown. I think would make sense. And then also, Dominic Mysterio will be put into this match, and he will eliminate Rey Mysterio, and we're getting the Mysterios at Mania as my other show.
I can see Rey finally saying, you know what, enough is enough, I'm sick of you.
I feel like if they do fight at Mania, Rey's going to retire after. I don't want that. I think if Rey could wrestle for the rest of his life at the level he is, I would love that, but don't think that's how life works, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, no.
Big probability that 2023 is Rey's last year.
Yeah. Same for Edge, too. So, do we think we're getting Edge in the Rumble?
Possibly.
We could. I mean, I would never say no to seeing Edge, but I think this might be one of the first years we say, is there a chance we don't see Edge?
Yeah. That's fair. That is fair. I don't know. I think as much as I would love to see a lot of these, legends come back, and, I feel like the Rumble has to shift its so that the other newer, younger guys could take their positions, because if we keep inviting the older guys back, how do we let the younger guys get into the position where they become the legends, and where we're like, oh, I want to see, so-and-so come back in 20 years. Austin Theory come back. We can't do that if he's constantly getting overshadowed by an Edge or a Randy Orton or those guys. But I definitely understand the nostalgia of it all, because I love Edge and Orton's and shit, people who've been there and done it. But yeah, I think I would love, and this is wild and crazy, but I would love to see somebody from NXT win a Royal Rumble. Why not? Why not let somebody from NXT win a Royal Rumble, and that's their ticket into, and that brings them onto the main roster, or they decide that they want to go for a main roster belt. And it's like so wild and far-fetched. Like, why would you pick somebody from Raw to go? Because they can. That's the whole point of winning the Royal Rumble.
What a better push than a Rumble.
Exactly.
Like, I think the only time they've ever had an NXT person be an entry in a match like that and win was Baron Corbin years ago when the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal straight out of NXT. But that's also one of the least valued match wins in the company.
Exactly.
So at the time, it wasn't. At the time, it was like kind of a big deal because they were still pushing it. I think it was like the third or the fourth one. But I mean, if you're going to get somebody from NXT to do it, it would have to be somebody who probably doesn't have a big enough rep to just immediately come onto the main roster. Like, I don't feel like it could be Carmelo Hayes. I don't feel like it could be Grayson Waller. I feel like it would have to be like somebody like Axiom, somebody like maybe like JD McDonough. Either one of them could be good picks. I could see somebody like trying to think of another face from it. I mean, Charlie Dempsey is also a good third pick. I think any of them could do well here.
And it doesn't have to be just from the band. It could be an NXT woman who comes up and wins one of the women's titles. Like, I just feel like we always see, like, if somebody from NXT wins something big, they're going to go face the NXT championship, the champion at the time. And it's like, why? You have the choice to face any wrestler, any champion at any time. But I don't know. I just feel like maybe it's time we see something big. But we have to let the younger players start playing the game. But I'm here for it all anyway. I still think Dwayne Johnson is coming back. But
all right. So one last question for the men's and the women's Royal Rumble, because they make a big deal out of this every year. Who are your final for both matches?
Your final four?
Your final four.
Ooh.
So we're gonna make a big deal out of it too.
Oof.
I can tell you
who can The Rock eliminate to win this. Let's see.
Not The Rock.
Final four.
I have a couple shouts.
Go ahead.
If we're gonna do the men's Rumble first, because I feel like that one's good for me. I definitely think we're gonna have Gunther as one of the final four. If not, he's going to be eliminated really early randomly. Like, I don't see a world where Gunther is not either like the everybody teams up to eliminate him person, or he makes it deep into the end and only gets eliminated by like Cody Rhodes or like etc. So Gunther, honestly, Cody Rhodes seems like a very likely option. Seth Rollins, because they will never let that horse die. And then my fourth pick is going to be Riddle, because I think he's coming back and I think they're going to want to push him and make him have like a good enough of a spotlight. So Seth Rollins, Gunther, Cody Rhodes, Matt Riddle. Those are my final four for the men's Royal
Rumble. I need to think of two more people. Hold on. Okay. All right. Here we go. The Rock. Drew McIntyre.
Mm-hmm.
Finn Balor. Possibly even Ricochet.
Not a terrible set.
Okay. Here's mine. And one of them is strictly because I feel like it's about dang time that they make it to the final four. And because I feel like they're being used as just somebody who just does spots. But they finally need to make it to a final four of the Royal Rumble. And that is Kofi Kingston. I am sick of them using him for doing spots. And even if he botched the last one he was supposed to do, that's okay, because the man has done everything under the sun and he can afford to mess up once.
He's not. Let the man miss one.
Let him miss one. He missed one. Okay. But Kofi deserves to be in the final four, if not win. But I don't think he'll win. But I think he deserves to be in the final four. Cody Rhodes, because he's coming back. I think he's going to make it to the final four. I still say The Rock is coming back. I think he's going to come out at 30. So if he comes out at 30, he's going to be in the final four to me, I think. And I would say probably either, I can see Drew making it, either Drew or Riddle if he comes back. If Riddle comes back, it'll be Riddle. If Riddle doesn't come back, it's Drew. There we go.
Fair enough.
All right. Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Rhodes.
Per.
Riddles.
Per.
My fourth, I want something kind of like Kofi Kingston, where you don't think it might happen, but a man who also has been a jobber for way too long. And that's Ziggler.
Period. I ain't mad at that.
Yeah, we talk about his love for Dolph Ziggler on a weekly basis.
I love my man's Dolph Ziggler.
Not mad at that.
Yeah. All right. Women's Royal Rumble, final fours. This one's harder, like, just because they haven't announced anybody.
Okay. So here's mine.
Mm-hmm.
Rhea.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Liv. These two are harder. I don't think it's going to be like any part-time or anybody coming back. It's going to be somebody who's still here. Unless who?
Naomi.
Oh, Naomi. That's 3, period. But she'll be back. So 3. Winner, chicken dinner. Naomi. And you know what? Oh, somebody who we didn't talk about who might come back, which if she comes back, gross, but whatever. But it's been rumors and rumblings. Eva Marie. Do y'all like she might be coming back? Like the rumors and the rumblings that Eva Marie might be coming back, I'm like, gross. But
I haven't seen any of those. So
oh yes, I've heard
on
the
the right
rumblings.
side. I've been on the right side of Twitter.
Yes, please.
If Eva Marie comes back and it's just for a Rumble spot, I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Just come back because they need somebody to fill out the 30. So she comes back.
I think we have enough space for 30 without her. So she can stay out.
But I don't know who the 4th will be though for me, honestly. I think Ronda Rousey is coming back though, but that's just me.
Is she not?
We hope not.
If she does, she's 4. If she comes back, she's definitely in the final 4.
All right, who you thinking, Lewis?
Fuck. Okay. Rhea Ripley.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Naya.
Oh God.
Wow. You. Please no.
Man,
Please
don't
no.
wish that on any of us.
Wow.
I think she's coming back, and I think she's gonna be booked like a person that can outlast whatever the fuck.
Wow.
Liv.
Mm-hmm.
And I choked this person in because why not? Tegan Knox.
I'm okay with that. I'm personally okay with that. I like Tegan Knox.
Fair enough. I have to say, my 4. I have to include Asuka by principle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Secondly, I'll give Liv to make Brook happy.
As you should.
Because Liv will not win it. Liv could at least live to see the final 4.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
I really like the idea of Tegan Knox. That sounds really, really fantastic. And if Ronda shows up, she'll be in the top 2, much less the 4.
Mm-hmm. That's all right. So my shouts: Rhea Ripley, Naomi, Liv Morgan. Those 3 I feel like are the locks here. I cannot see a world where if Naomi comes back, she's not in the final 4. And I also can't see a world where the final 2 are not Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley, because I need that for my conscience. They had a feud. This is not just random. They feuded.
Brooke, your head can see it. Your heart can't. But that's okay.
They had a feud. They were a tag team. This would be fine. It'd be great. The 4th one I don't think is gonna happen, but this is just for my personal ego of the whole situation. Somebody I feel like is really underutilized on the current brand that has been getting her vignettes to come back, Lacey Evans. I don't like her as a person based off of some of the things I have seen her say on Twitter lately, but she's been getting vignettes to come back. It'll probably be at the Rumble, and usually if they have a return at the Rumble, like a big return at the Rumble, they keep them in longer so that people can remember that they're there. So Lacey Evans.
I can see that. I can see her coming back, and it will be whatever if she does, but she won't win.
She's good in the ring. I'll give her that. But in terms of like her presentation has never really done anything for me. And I really don't like some of the things she has said about vaccines recently. So I take her with a pinch of salt. But that's my shot.
Okay, so final question I have for you guys. Overall, what do we feel like this show is going to land? Because some pay-per-views lately have been Yeah. And some have been really good. Like the first pay-per-view after Vince left that was strictly ran by Hunter was really good. Clash of the Castle was really
there.
good.
I had the time of my life that night.
It was really good. And it's like, so, but then Survivor Series was kind of
Fine.
It was okay. It was good. It was good. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't the worst. But it was fine. So where do we feel like Royal Rumble's going to land? Is it going to be really good or really bad or somewhere in the middle?
I think it'll be good. Not really good, not amazing, not like the best thing. Oh my god. I think it will be Clash of the Castle level compared to, or even better than Clash of the Castle, maybe. I think one of the biggest selling points of Clash of the Castle was the atmosphere, maybe. I suppose. I mean, it was a great card, but I think the biggest thing that made it look so great was the fucking, mind my language, the sold out stadium with, oh my god, so many people that were like chatting for whatever the fuck. I think if Clash of the Castle happened in a smaller arena show, I wouldn't have enjoyed it as much.
You gonna go to Money in the Bank this year, Lewis?
Probably. I've got a lot on my plate, so I hope I would love to, but I'm not sure right now. I think Rumble could be better than Clash.
Okay. What you think?
I think it will definitely be better than the Rumble last year. I don't think it could possibly be worse than the Rumble last year, because as of writing, it is extremely unlikely that Ronda or Brock will be in the Rumble. Immediately better.
The reason that they gave for Cody being announced was that they're pleased with the surprise they have planned enough to be able to be like, okay, Cody is happening. You know what I mean? So they've already said they've got enough surprises planned, and I think based on that information, I think I'm holding out hope that this will be a great Rumble.
Okay. What do you think, Wes?
Well, I think this is either going to be a great Rumble, not a good Rumble. I don't think this will be a good Rumble. This will either be great or horrible. And it's all going to be, because let's be honest, when we look at the Women's Royal Rumble, there's no one in their right mind who's not really looking at Rhea Ripley. When you look at the men's, it's only down to like 2 or 3. So, one thing you can't say about the Rumble is that it's going to have a lot of surprises in the end, right? This is a pretty predictable Rumble. At least we all feel it is. And then we have a Mountain Dew match, which, I don't hold a lot of hope for, but I hold some hope. So I can see a lot of rooms where this could just go horribly, and it can be considered a bad Rumble, not as worse as last year, but still a bad Rumble nonetheless. But if this Mountain Dew match goes well, if the surprises are just as good as we think they will be, and perhaps we get some really interesting storylines coming about, I could see this turning into the best pay-per-view potentially of the year besides Mania.
Okay. I feel like this is going to be a good Royal Rumble, but I think it's going to be a great kickoff to WrestleMania. Like the stories that's going to come from Rumble is going to make a great WrestleMania, but I think it's going to be a good Rumble unless some of the surprises are as great as they are trying to make them. Because sometimes they say some surprises are going to happen, and then we get surprises. Like they might claim Logan Paul is a surprise, and I'm not surprised by anything. But Logan Paul is going to be like that's not a surprise for me. I don't care. He proved himself. He do all right. He do all right in the wrestling ring. He do all right. But am I like super stoked to see Logan Paul? No. So I think their surprises have to be like rock level for me to be like, this is a great Rumble. Because we remember the pops that we had when Edge came back. We remember the pops we had when John Cena came back that one time after not supposed to be back for 9 months, after not, whatever. So we need those kind of pops this time for it to be considered a great Royal Rumble. If we don't have like a Rock come back, it's going to be good. Will it be great? I don't know about great. Good, sure. But I think the storylines leaving this place will make a great WrestleMania kickoff start to happen. So that's my opinion.
If we do get like a celebrity in here, which I don't think we will, nothing's even been like pushed at all. Because last year we had Johnny Knoxville, and that was just stupid.
Dumb.
It was stupid, but I loved the match with Sami Zayn and Mania. I thought it was dumb and great. Because I like comedy wrestling. I'm a big fan of comedy wrestling, so I loved it. I don't see any celebrities coming into this Rumble. I don't. They usually have like them appear on Raw like 2 weeks.
Bad Bunny.
Other than maybe, that's the only one that would make sense here. But
Bad Bunny.
Well, also he's going to be in 2K23. I don't know if anybody saw that. But he's the person that's doing the music for 2K23. Mm-hmm. So some cross-promotional appearance from Bad Bunny would not hurt that game.
I mean, I'm just saying, I don't think we're going to get celebrities in the Royal Rumble because they're going to save them all for WrestleMania. It's in Hollywood. We'll get a bunch of celebrities in Hollywood, which kind of like, okay. But I don't think they're going to muddle up Royal Rumble with celebrities. They'll wait till WrestleMania.
No, I think we are getting a celebrity, and he's winning, and it's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson from that Fast and Furious film or whatever the fuck. He is a celebrity. He is.
That was good. That's true. He is the true celebrity that we could have, and he could win the whole thing. But
the bloody fucking Tooth Fairy or whatever.
And before freaking Maria Menounos just shows up and wins the Rumble.
Oh, no.
Oh my God! No, stop, please.
I'll be honest. I just want to see a full timer win. I'm tired of these part timers. I'm tired of the Brock Lesnar's and the Rocks and the Cenas. And as much as I love them in their era of wrestling, but there are a lot of talents that are working day in, day out. And I think that one of them deserves this Rumble. Of course, we still might see Rock come back, and we'll see what the Rock is cooking. But you
don't want to win it. Got it.
Doesn't mean I want to see.
He's cooking a Rumble win. That's what he's cooking.
Well, on that note, go ahead.
Go up at the Rumble. There are going to be some bloodline shenanigans to keep him from winning it. Because if we have learned anything about the bloodline during this time period, they do not care. They will do whatever to keep Roman on top, right?
True.
So I can see it.
I can see it. I can see something happening with The Rock. Even if he's not in the Rumble, he comes out at the end of Roman and Kevin Owens match. Something, I don't know. Mm-hmm. We'll see what happens. But on that note, we're going to say thank you all, because we've talked about this ad nauseum. There's nothing else we could talk about. But I will say this, and if you guys are down, we come back after the Royal Rumble to see if our predictions were correct, how we feel about it. If we could talk about it, we can come back and discuss all of this again after the Rumble and see if all the nonsense that we spewed was real, facts, fiction, or we just idiots because we don't know what.
For all, so.
Yeah, so like, this is what we'll do. We'll come back after the Rumble. We'll talk about this and see if everything was all right or wrong, how we felt about the show. And that's it. So thank you all for watching. Y'all know what to do. And I did not put our banners up because I didn't make a banner, but it's okay. We don't need it. Y'all know what to do. Follow us on Twitter at @the_reality on Twitter to find out when we will be dropping more shows. We talk about everything from Drag Race to wrestling now and everything in between. So if you feel like you want to join our panel and talk about what we're talking about, hit me up at LadyJ78 or at @the_reality on Twitter, and we will see about getting you in. Or if there's a show that you want to talk about, let us know. But follow, share, subscribe, like, share to everyone. And yeah, guys, thank you all for talking to me and talking to us about the Royal Rumble. And we'll be back next time to talk about something else and how we feel about it. So cheers. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers to you.
I drank it all.
I drank all of mine too, but cheers as well. So cheers. People.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Too sweet.
Too sweet. Too sweet. Period.
Too sweet.
Bye.